7477. Mark 4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Mark 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studio producers, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime for today's live show broadcast on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, we are coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, mark. 1 minute, stations. 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. On the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. Presented by Morris Bank, this is Hail Southern Live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Coming up, your all-access pass into Georgia Southern athletics, including a visit with head football coach Clay Helton. Hail Southern Live is brought to you by Morris Bank. It pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. And by Optum Orthopedics, the official orthopedic care provider to Georgia Southern Athletics. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's head live inside Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Eagle Nation, it is great to see you again. Back one more time at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. 60 minutes worth of Georgia Southern's athletic talk. It's Hail Southern Live just off of Fair Road on the Georgia Southern Sports Network powered by Learfield. It is homecoming weekend. Boy, is there a lot going on. It's the start of the fair this evening just down the road. Kiwanis Ogeechee Fair 2025. Its 63rd year in operation. This weekend, though, it's a rivalry game. It is Southern versus State at Paulson. We kick it off at 7 o'clock inside the prettiest little stadium in America. 5 p.m. airtime for the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. It's the second ever Georgia Grown Bowl as part of Ag Day, playing for the Commissioner's Cup, which the Eagles will look to keep possession of after that 38-21 victory over the Panthers in 2024. Tackling for a Cure, the biggest alumni tailgate they've ever done. That'll take place at the Anthony P. Tippins Family Training Facility, so there is a ton going on over the next few days here in Bullock County. If you have any questions for tonight's Hail Southern Live, you can submit those on Facebook Live or send us an X at GS Sports Network. In the middle of cross-country season, and boy, what a ride they've had. 2 second-place finishes. They just won last weekend at the Sand Shark Invite. This time, please welcome in the head coach and Olympic gold medalist, David Neville, to Wild Wing Cafe.
Thanks for having me.
We got to get you can't not say Olympic gold medalist.
You know. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Having a program that has gone second, first in your last 3 events, that's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, they've definitely done a great job this fall. Coach Timothy Susko, my distance coach, he's done an amazing job just developing the talent that we have. And also when it comes to recruiting the right type of athletes that can come in here and compete at a high level. So we're really excited about what they've been able to do and excited about these next couple competitions as we get ready for the conference championships.
When you say the right kind of athlete, how do you figure out who can do it on the track, but also who can take care of things in the classroom?
You know, that's something that we definitely spend a lot of time making sure that we do. We recruit kids that are high level academically, but we also know that they can compete at this level. In track and field, the numbers don't lie, so it's a little easy, a little easier in that realm because we can look and see what they have done throughout their high school career, and if they are transferred, what they have done on the track and on the cross country course, and that converts to what we need them to do here, and we pay a lot of attention to what happens academically in the classroom. We've got great academic advisors for our program that work tirelessly to make sure that the athletes do what they're supposed to do in the class, and we hold them accountable for it.
All the times that you and I have spoken, whether it's indoor, outdoor, I know that's not going to begin until after we get through January, cross-country, you're so process-oriented, you're so technique-oriented, but how does having the proper mindset lend to even better technique?
You just have to approach it with, first of all, you have to make sure that those athletes are passionate about what they do. If they're passionate, they are going to strive to be the very best they possibly can be and take the criticism that they're given from the coaches. And so when it comes to the technique and putting that on the track and on the field, they work tirelessly day after day. And as a coaching staff, we are making sure that we are setting them up for the best success they can possibly have so that when it comes time to step into the conference championships or into the high-level meets that we go and compete in, they are ready to go. As we say, the hay is in the barn. There's nothing else that we can do at that point. It's up to them to go out there and put it out there.
I've seen you time and time again. You guys run your stadium stairs at Alan E. Paulson Stadium using the turf, whether it's at Paulson or at the Tippins training facility, also working time and time at Eagle Creek. How does switching up the terrain help give you even better results when it's time to do it?
Yeah, I think it's very important for athletes to be able to adapt to any situation that they're put in. And so at the beginning of the year, typically we're not running too much on the track surface. We want to make sure that, first of all, we can save the shins and the joints. So we're doing a lot of stuff on different surfaces, whether we're using sand. We've used the volleyball courts over at the rack, whether we're using the turf at the Tippins facility or in Paulson. And so we are able to run those environments, but then also we're using hills. We've got, the great new indoor basketball facility that's out there. And so we're running the hills around on the sidewalks out there and then running the stadiums over at Paulson. We're just going to make sure that they are ready for anything that they may face.
The success you've had, we just mentioned, and I'm thinking about the kind of ways that you would have trained when you were in a competitive mode. Are you putting them through the same kind of training, or have there been further advancements, or is it tried and true versus what's been new?
Yeah. Well, there's some things that I'm not gonna put them through that I went through at that level.
Okay.
But I have learned over the years as I've coached, as more things, more information, more knowledge has come out, that I can adapt that to help our young ladies to have a lot of success. And so there are some things that I do take them through that I've gone through myself. But make sure that I formulate it so that they can be the best them, right? I don't need them to be me. I need them to be them. And so, but be successful at their level where they're at. And I think that we've done a really good job.
Can you give us an example of a way that you've done that?
Well, for me, I had a lot of mileage that I had to run as a 400-meter runner,
Sure.
and for our athletes at that level, they're not running nearly as far in terms of the slower type of tempo work that I used to do, because some of the advancements in science that I've learned is that we've got to make sure that we're continuing to develop their fast twitch muscles, that we're sprinting them a little bit more than I used to sprint, and so those are some of the adjustments that I've made in terms of our training, and for myself, I've just grown in terms of some of the equipment and tools that I've been able to use, a lot more resistance equipment, and just kind of develop them in that light. And I've gone and studied a lot and talked to a lot of coaches that have been very successful and tried to incorporate some of those things that I see being done at the highest levels into what we do.
Who do you count as some of your mentors in the field?
My biggest mentor is probably who was my professional coach. His name was John Smith out in California. He's the coach who helped me get those medals that I got as a professional. And then I would say my second mentor is who was my college coach, who's still, he's the head coach at Indiana University now. I talk to him every so often, just kind of picking his brain. And then there's some other coaching buddies that I have around the country that I trained with when I was professional. And then some others that, I have opportunities just to kind of talk to and see what they're doing and why they're doing what they are doing. Because if they're successful and it's working for them, maybe there's something from that I can take.
You were hired back in 2022. It's hard to believe this is already your fourth season in Statesboro, but when you had your initial vision about what you wanted Georgia Southern track and field and cross country to be, how would you say that the department and admin have allowed you to actually build that?
I think it's been amazing, an amazing pairing. I feel very, very supported. When I came here, it was all about trying to take this program to the next level. And we've been able to do that, literally taking the program from the bottom of the conference to finishing fourth last year in the conference, 6 points out of third place. And for myself, my goal was, hey, in the first 3 years, let's try to get this program to where we can contend for a title. And I think that the support that I've been given from the administration through now Chris Davis, it's great. And I think the ladies see it, the coaching staff, we see it as, they want us to be successful, and they're going to put us in the right position, give us the tools, financially and support, and continue to improve upon our facilities. Done a great job and just continue to build there in that area, and the ladies see it, and they're grateful for it, and I'm grateful for it.
Now for cross country, the final meet of the regular season is this Saturday at USC Upstate at the Millikan Research Park. Conference tournament on Halloween down at Foley at Graham Creek. Is that just one shot, and whatever you finish, that's it?
That's it. One race, and hopefully you can get it down around 17 minutes for that 5K, that 5K for our ladies. And our program has continued to show some signs of improving, and we're excited about going, to USC Upstate this weekend, competing there, seeing, kind of a little tune-up before we get ready for the big one in the next couple of weeks, and then I think that we're going to have a great showing, out there in Alabama.
What kind of prep is already going on for indoor and outdoor season once we get to January?
Oh, we're in the midst of it. Our ladies could probably tell you, man, they're feeling a little beat up right now. But I told them today we had a great practice, and I told them, I said, hey, I know you're feeling heavy. I know the legs feel pretty bad right now, and you know what? Honestly, that's what I want for you. I'm not looking for you to feel good right now. If you feel good, then I'm probably doing something wrong, because it's important to make sure that we are putting you through challenging situations so that when it's time to step up and compete against the best in our conference, we stand at the top of the podium. And sometimes that takes you, feeling a little beat up at this point in the season. Next week, we're going to do some testing to kind of see where we're at over the next 2 weeks. And then we start getting ready as we lead into these last 2 months before going to compete in January. These ladies are going to be fit. They're going to be in shape if they aren't already. Some of them are like, oh, man, I've never done any of this stuff before in my life. And for me, it's like, hey, that's what you need. Some of you have never been pushed to your limits, and if you're pushed to your limits in practice, when we step on that track, there's nobody that can stand against us.
David, it's always fun getting to talk to you. Really proud of what you've done with all of your programs. Congrats on that. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll visit again soon.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
That's head coach David Neville. Georgia Southern cross country, track and field, indoor outdoor season starting in January. One more meet for cross country before league championships on Halloween down in Foley. Football coming up next with head coach Clay Helton. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
When it comes to your heating and cooling needs, don't sacrifice your comfort. Ogeechee Heating and Air has served Southeast Georgia and surrounding communities for more than 15 years. With more than 35 years of industry experience, these licensed and insured heating contractors have the experience and know-how to get your HVAC job done right the first time. Whether you're selecting a new heating or cooling system, repairing an existing system, or you just want lower energy bills and a healthier home, Ogeechee Heating and Air has the service and expertise you're looking for. Call today, 912-739-4035.
Don't let an injury keep you on the sidelines. Go where the pros go. Optum Orthopedics. They're the official orthopedic and team physicians for Georgia Southern Athletics. Thanks to Optum, our Eagles get the best care on and off the field. The good news is that Optum is here for you too. Located in our community, Optum is the leader in advanced orthopedic care throughout the Southeast. Like the Eagles, you deserve the freedom to soar. And with Optum's fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, you will. Your team, your community, your freedom. Optum Orthopedics. Schedule online today.
Looking to level up your brand? Since 1977, Bahama Joe's has been your go-to for custom apparel, promo products, and merch that gets noticed. From screen printing to embroidery to swag that makes a statement, we bring your vision to life. Locally owned, creatively driven, and island-inspired, we've got your back, your shirt, and your brand. Bahama Joe's, branded to stand out. Visit bahamajoes.com today.
Whether you're cheering from the 50-yard line or your living room couch, Citizens Bank of the South is proud to stand with you in support of the Georgia Southern Eagles. From student checking to home loans, they've got your back on campus, in their communities, and beyond. Owned and managed by a strong group of Georgia Southern alumni, Team Seabots is fiercely loyal and always bring their best, just like the Eagles. Citizens Bank of the South is banking built for champions. Local, loyal, loud, and proud to be in Sandersville, Statesboro, and Milledgeville. Visit them today at Seabots.com. FDIC insured and an equal opportunity employer.
In a world where everything changes, what do? You find something steady, a
comforting hand, a dependable voice, a familiar face, someone who knows your story and your name. At Morris Bank, we've spent generations working to be just that for all of our customers. We've been right here with you through every season, every challenge, and every win. Times will change, but we know some things shouldn't, because it's not just banking, it's belonging, and it's why it pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You can find ice-cold refreshment right here at Parker's Kitchen. Whether it's our own fancy lemonade, fresh brewed sweet tea, or mix and match sodas, cool off with a large fountain or frozen drink for just 79 cents. That's a huge sweet tea for less than $1 at Parker's Kitchen. At Parker's Kitchen, we go big, like our huge, crunchy, juicy, never frozen chicken tenders. Piled high in a sandwich or in a meal with an extra large serving of Parker's signature sauce. Bigger is better at Parker's Kitchen.
Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now, let's return live to Wild Wing Cafe. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Great to visit with David Neville as Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. A reminder, we're just about 3 weeks away from the start of basketball season. On the 22nd of this month over at the Hill, hometown hoops and scoops from the Georgia Southern Athletic Foundation. Kids can get scoops of ice cream, and Eagle Nation can get the inside scoop on men's and women's basketball with head coach Charlie Henry and Hannah Hayden. Doors open at 4:30. Program starts at 5. Adults for $50, kids for $15. More information, visit gseagles.com/hometown hoops. Talking Eagle football for the next couple of segments. We will visit with wide receiver Camden Brown in just a couple of moments, currently leading the conference in receiving yards and touchdowns. Had the 4th best receiving game in school history last weekend with 12 catches, tying a program record against Southern Miss. Eagle Nation at this time, welcome in your head coach Clay Helton to Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro.
Thank you, guys.
And we may as well just start there. We talked about it on Inside Georgia Southern Football this morning. It's one thing to hope that a portal get is going to bear fruit. He has been a home run. Camden Brown has been absolutely fabulous.
Really, really special as not only a player but a person and a leader. You know, you hope that when you bring in a transfer that it really, you know, there's great chemistry with the rest of the room. And when you see him and Cobb and Marcus Sanders and how they're gelling together right now, and Amon Green, who comes in as a transfer, those 4 weapons really showed out the other night, and obviously Cam led the way.
You see what you think a player can be, but once you get them here, watch them in spring practice, assuming you're able to get the spring practice. I know sometimes guys get added during the summer, but at what point do you get shown, whatever the position, that guy becomes an Eagle?
So, some guys it takes 4 days, and some guys it takes 4 plays. Cam was about a 4-play guy that you go, whoa, this guy's really special. And then it's about how fast do you pick up the system. And he just has great football knowledge, great football instincts, you know, knows how to find open grass. And what you didn't realize until you really start playing the game and get really competitive within games is how good he is a 50-50 catcher. You know, when the ball is up, I mean, he literally – he's got the motto, the ball is mine, and he goes and gets it. And so he's just been a godsend. We needed somebody on the outside to replace the production that Derwin had brought to us over the last 2 years, and he has done that for us.
Having him as part of that receiving corps, that was a big reason why the rally in the second half happened last week against Southern Miss. You outscored them 28-10 after halftime, coming up just short 38-35. But watching him post 12 for 158, including another touchdown, going for 26 on that 3rd down and 7 play. If you can bottle up that 30 minutes and use it for the rest of the season, this is going to become a very good football team.
Yeah, Danny, I literally walked in at halftime right after talking to Big Frank and doing the radio, and I said, man, this is going to be really interesting because how this team walks out here in the second half is probably how they're going to play the rest of the way. They were challenged at halftime, and they came out and met that challenge. We talked about, you know, having the ability to not – they were giving great effort, but they weren't executing at a high level. Yeah. You know, there's effort and then there's execution, and the execution didn't meet how hard they were playing. They met that in the second half, and then they go against a team that's a really good football team and outscore them 28-10 in the second half and put themselves back in the game. We've got to be able to find those 4 quarters from A to B. That's what we talked about this week. In everything we do, we got to start fast and we got to finish strong and be all the way in for 4 quarters.
Take a couple of questions. One came in earlier today on Twitter from Sidelines. Coach, this is a 2-part question. Which position group has met or exceeded expectations through the first 6 games? And if we're able to close out the second half of the season on a run, which position group would be responsible for leading that run?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's the group we just talked about that is really, because anytime you bring in 2 transfers, one at the tight end position, one as an outside receiver, you're hoping that it gels together with your quarterback. And that combination of having the 2 outside players right now with Marcus and Cam, and then the 2 inside players with Amon and Dalen Cobb, it's hard to double anybody because you're leaving one of them singled up, and you saw that with Marcus. Yeah. All of a sudden he gets his one-on-one opportunity because they're doubling Cobb on the inside, and so all of a sudden we look up and we got a huge play. Probably the group that in these last 6 games that I think has to make the most impact for us are the big men. Is going to be the offense and defensive line front. Being able to do what we did in the second half offensively, of having balance within the run game to take the pressure off the quarterback a little bit. And then, I really felt probably our best football game as a defensive front, setting edges, being gap sound, and getting people down in the line of scrimmage. And so those big men are going to lead the way. They always do. And if we're going to go on a run over these next 6 games, it'll be led by them.
With those 2 position groups specifically being hit by injury, season-ending injury, and multiple points, whether it's fall camp or throughout the course of a season, since there's such a grueling nature to what they do you have to have a sense of maybe a little bit more protection with them, or how can they still get their work in while keeping care?
Yeah, it's a fine line because you're running a little bit short of numbers on the D-line. I thought Coach Bailey did a really nice job of being able to mix and match 4 down with odd to give some of the big men some breathers and be able to go back and forth out of that. That helped us with a little bit of a thin D-line. And then, our front 5 offensive line-wise, it was devastating to lose Kalen. But Johnny Brown and Robert Wright have really picked up the slack at the tackle position. And Colin Alexander has come in and done a wonderful job for us at tackle. So, sometimes they say next man up mentality. We've done a nice job on that offensive line of being able to say, okay, hey, we lost a valuable member in Big Red, but these guys have filled the slots and carried on.
I want to go back to what you talked about with the defensive line switching to largely a 3-man front and giving up just 3.8 yards per carry. I know they ran for close to 200, but it took them almost 50 carries to get there. Pro Football Focus had you missing only 4 tackles the entire game. That's by far a season low. And the longest carry they had all game was 16 yards. So everything you spoke of, the edge setting, the gap soundness, protection, it seemed like it's at least a start.
Yeah, we worked really hard last week, and in having a couple extra days, we put ourselves in some live scrimmage situations. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow in a little bit of a shorter period, getting some live tackling and being able to continue this progress with them. But I thought the kids took it to heart. I thought they played fast. I thought they played violent, and they set the edges, and the ball bent back. And then if you bend it back to 2 and 1, if you bend it back to the Killer Bees, they're going to get it down. What I was most impressed with was the edge players, being able to have Aiden do what he did, filling the lanes. DeAndre on the outside, setting the edges. Obviously, MJ Stroud it continues to play at an extremely high level, setting the other edge. And so it was great to see us take a step forward. We need to continue to progress.
It's no coincidence that 1 and 2 on defense, Brendan Harrington, Brandon Tyson, are 1-2 in the conference going into the weekend in solo tackles. Get one more question before the break. On Facebook, Kayla asks, Coach, you spoke highly of our backup quarterbacks in the offseason. When will they get to see some playing time when JC is not performing well?
Yeah, it came close the other night. I said it in the media afterwards. That you know, sometimes you put your starting pitcher or starting quarterback in this story out there, and then all of a sudden he just doesn't have his stuff.
Yep.
And you know, you could see it with JC. He was he's frustrated. He it just wasn't flowing for him. And then he gets in at halftime. I talked with Coach Applin. I said, you know what? I do want to see how I want to see his demeanor walking back out there. This isn't a first-year kid. This is a second-year, player. Let's see how he operates within this first series. Let's see his demeanor. Let's see his eyes, and the eyes always tell it. And he took a deep breath. He took a deep breath at halftime. I was really proud of guys like Cam and some others coming up and saying, "Hey, man, we got you. Don't worry, we got your back." And I think that gave him great confidence walking out there. And then he got into a flow. We've got good backup quarterbacks. One of them's got my last name. Weston Bryant's playing really good too. And if we have to get to that combination, and it comes down to it, if he doesn't, have a high level of production, we'll get there. I hope we don't, but we always have that capability with those two guys.
Southern versus State this Saturday, 7 o'clock kick. It's a homecoming whiteout. It's the second annual Georgia Grown Bowl. We'll talk more with head coach Clay Helton after this break from Wild Wing. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
Eagle Nation, this is Marcus Sack with MESAC Engineering. When we started our full-service engineering firm, there was a lot pulled from Coach Russell's playbook. MESAC Engineering is designed on precision performance with a do-right approach. Whether you're looking for water and wastewater engineering, transportation engineering, or a full suite of land surveying services, MESAC can deliver the right product at the right cost in the least amount of time. My wife Jennifer and I are both Georgia Southern alumni, and MESAC Engineering is proud to be a partner with Georgia Southern Athletics. Visit us online at MESAC.com. Go Eagles!
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Hey Eagles fans, it's college football season and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Georgia Southern football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Georgia Southern Eagles. Let's go Eagles! SeatGeek.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
There was flames on that ball.
The speed.
35, 40. There he goes. Down the sideline.
Western College football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20. Say goodnight to this one.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletics season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now, let's return live to Wild Wing Cafe. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Just about halfway through this week's edition of Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe here in Statesboro. Getting you set for homecoming Saturday. It's a whiteout at Paulson, 7 o'clock kick. We're live at 5. It is Southern versus State. 12th all-time meeting. Georgia Southern looking for the third consecutive win in the series and to keep possession of the Commissioner's Cup after winning it for the first time up in Atlanta last year. Really dominant performance, 38-21, ran for well over 200 yards. Both Jalen White and O.J. Arnold were north of 100. We kind of mentioned this earlier today on Inside Georgia Southern Football, but with the emotion of that week, having to travel up in the conditions that we did to play that game one, to win that game and take a trophy back, that's a special moment.
Yeah, it really was. And the guys really bought into the mental toughness of, you go through a hurricane, you're going about 20 miles an hour down I-16 all the way to Atlanta, going in and out of trees that have fallen, and then to have the mental toughness to be in a rival game at another man's place and really put a fine performance together. A lot of emotion in that game. It was the first ever Georgia Grown Bowl, and now here comes the second one. And, it's a special rivalry against kids that have played against each other in high school. Some were teammates in high school, and now having the chance to play for a trophy again this year and battle for 365 days of pride, that's always special.
Oh, they've also been teammates in college. We're going to have Camden coming up in just a moment. He and T.J. Finley were teammates at Auburn back in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. And you think about Amon Green and how special this game is for him. He's going to see a lot of former teammates. So special Saturday, homecoming, whiteout. Eagle Nation has just been fantastic in showing up and showing out, and we hope for that again this Saturday.
We spoke last segment about switching up the defense just a little bit, going a lot more to a three-man line, but we also watch at practice every day how you're constantly drilling and reinforcing the concepts, who you are and who you want to be. How do you find the happy medium between what you are and putting a tweak in here and there?
Yeah, I truly believe everybody wants to get to the mountaintop right at the start and be able to, but it's really about winning small battles and getting better, collecting a lot of little wins. And last week we said, okay, what do we have to address immediately? And it was the run defense and being able to get better at it. And, not to say we're elite right now, but we took a step forward because we focused on it and practiced it so hard, and the kids took pride in it and really did their best job of the year. And so you have to be able to look at that in each phase, in each position room of get one step better this week, to be able, and it could be from, Cam, we talked about the wide receivers. We were going to have to make our plays down the field, and we worked shots, and we worked shots, and we worked shots. And then all of a sudden you see Marcus Sanders make one of the biggest plays of his career within that game. And you see Cam catch 12 balls, and a lot of them downfield. The flea flicker was not the easiest catch in the world, knowing you're going to get tattooed right when you touch the ball from the safety, and he went up and made that play. And so it's just a big stack of little wins, and hopefully we'll get even more wins in practice that carry over to the game this Saturday.
This rivalry has always been a part of Marcus Sanders' history. He had a touchdown in this game 2 years ago on that Thursday night, got you out to the 6-2 start. I love that he was the number 0 last weekend, and the 39-yard touchdown he had helped him to a career-high 70 yards in that game.
Yeah, definitely. This has always been a good game for Marcus, and he's having by far his best year this year. Yeah. So proud for him in his senior year. He's made the most of his opportunities. I talked to him early in the year and said, hey, it may be just one ball thrown to you. Make the catch, make the play each and every time. And you've seen how his role has grown as the year has gone on.
You did address a couple of injury concerns. We'll go ahead and take a look at it now on the Optum Orthopedic ankle injury update. You made specific announcements about Quan McGinney and Chance Gamble. Chance is going to be done for the year. You also referenced a little bit of the possibility that Josh Dowles could come back, Latrell Bullard coming back. But how did you get to the decision of Chance, since he did miss 2 games earlier this year? How did you guys get to the point where just not feasible to be able to do it anymore?
Yeah, he's been battling his shoulder and, really wanted to battle through it. And then you finally get to that point where you got to make a decision. And I've always left it up to guys of what type of experience do they want, especially in their senior year. This is the one chance you get to be a college student athlete. And for Chance, he's got huge aspirations. Not only is he one of the better corners in this conference, I think he's one of the better corners in the country.
Yeah.
I think he's got NFL potential. And, you got to walk into that league healthy. And you got to have, 12 games of tape where you do it at an elite level. And, he's battled it as hard as he can, battled through this past game, and finally just sat down and said, okay, it's time to go get this thing fixed and get it well so you can have a 12 to 14 game truly great season. Proud for him, looking forward to having him back, and we'll miss him these last 6 games.
The good that came out of him missing 2 games earlier this year, Jakari Brown gets a chance to start. He had one of the most important defensive plays all year with that late pass breakup against Jacksonville State. It ends up leading to the punt that produced the game-winning touchdown. But also Elijah McDowell during the main game, he comes up with his first career pick.
Yeah, definitely. Those young corners are going to have to step up, between Elijah, Fabo, Jakari. Obviously you have Tracy out there. You can use DeAndre in a pinch too. Aiden can be a corner also. We've got some guys that can get out there and do it. But I think those young corners have built enough experience where it's their time to go take this season on, this second half of the season on, and go excel.
One guy that we spoke about earlier this year, and he's kind of done his thing. Pro Football Focus is starting to really like him as Jacob Ferguson. They rate him as the top edge player in the Sun Belt at this point. And you wouldn't think about it a whole lot, but he just does what he does. He makes plays when they're there, and it seems like the guys really gravitate to him too.
Yeah, we talked about that in the media today, and you think about Jacob, you think about Chewy, you think about Kebaseka and MJ Stroud, those 4 edge players, and they're playing good football right now. They really are. It's unfortunate that we've lost the bodies that we have on the inside. They've been forced to do some things regularly that maybe they're not accustomed to try to help us out. But they're playing solid football right now. They really are. And I know their next avenue. We're getting into some passing teams now.
Yeah.
We're coming into one now, and now it's about hopefully they get the opportunities for some 3rd and longs and be able to get to the quarterback.
This is the pin your ears portion of the schedule that we're getting into.
Yeah, definitely. This is more of an air raid opportunities that we're facing in the last 6 games.
If just any indication, Georgia State threw the ball 61 times last weekend, and that loss to App State, so those guys should be licking their chops going into homecoming Saturday. We'll talk with someone on the other side of the football, wide receiver Camden Brown, up on the stage next here from Wild Wing. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
For 79 years, Braswell Food Company has been crafting delicious specialty products with a commitment to quality and family tradition. Our top-selling red pepper jelly is a sweet, spicy delight made with only the finest ingredients. Perfect for appetizers, glazes, or your favorite recipes. From our family to yours, Braswell's brings time-honored recipes and premium quality to every jar. Taste the tradition with America's top-selling and award-winning jams, dressing, sauces, and mustards. Braswell's is available at grocers nationwide, or visit our website, www.braswells.com.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
Since 1945, the Sack Company has established its reputation by safely providing high-quality construction services. The Sack Company consistently demonstrates the highest level of professionalism, safety, and attention to details. Their hands-on experience in all phases of construction assure that you will get quality performance in a timely and cost-effective method. Accountability, care, excellence, innovation, integrity, safety, teamwork. The Sack Company. We bring business to life.
At Tidewater Equipment Company in Brooklyn, we understand how important every hour is when you're farming. We have an exceptional parts and service department, an extensive used equipment inventory, and we are exclusive distributors of Case IH tractors, planters, sprayers, combine balers, and more. We're here for everything you need when it comes to agriculture. Visit Tidewater in Brooklyn or online at TidewaterEquip.com, your premier Case IH tractor dealer. To those who work in acres, not ours, we thank you.
Welcome to Window World. For over 20 years, our Window World and family motto has remained the same: quality, value, and trust.
Our team is the best you'll find anywhere. Great people providing exceptional service and, of course, American-made products that we proudly warranty for life.
Right now, get a house full of windows for as low as $159 per month.
Call for your free consultation today. Window World of Coastal Georgia and South Carolina.
We're here for you for life.
Next time you need a dozer, a light tower, a scissor lift, or any other job site supplies, call Yancey Rents at 1-844-YNC-RENT or visit YanceyRents.com and get the best maintained equipment in Georgia. With 17 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia. Again, that's 1-844-YNC-RENT or visit YanceyRents.com.
BBWH Insurers, owned and operated by Georgia Southern alumni, has been serving Southeast Georgia since 1888. Our partnerships with quality A-plus rated carriers such as the Central Mutual Insurance Companies provide affordable and comprehensive coverage for your family and business. BBWH Insurers protects and supports our own. That's our true blue promise to you. Call me, Ashley Ellis, at 912-764-9602 or visit us online at bbwhins.com. And go Eagles!
It's football time, which turns Thursday and Sunday into the best days of the week. Well, they just got better, because now through October 26th, Keno has 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Win $500, it becomes $650. That's like getting extra field goal points for scoring a touchdown. So play Keno online and anywhere Keno is sold and get 30% higher payouts during bonus hours. Thursdays 6 to 8 p.m. and Sundays 1 to 3 p.m. Only from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly.
This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's Danny Reed.
About 15 minutes left on this week's Hail Southern Live. Coach Helton will rejoin us during our final segment. We'll talk more about those Georgia State Panthers. Homecoming Saturday is a whiteout, part of Ag Day, playing for the Commissioner's Cup and the Georgia Grown Bowl. It's Tackling for Your Cure. It's the culmination of Fair Week, which begins tonight just up the road at the Kiwanis Ogeechee Fairgrounds. But this is Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. We talked about him earlier. He joins us now. Eagle Nation, welcome in wide receiver Camden Brown to Wild Wing Cafe. So you've done some things so far this year.
Right.
What's it been like to get used to a new place but have so much success in that place?
Just being with your feet at every day, and that's just the main thing, is just having fun and doing what you're doing, and that just start from just the people and the coaching staff just believing in you and doing what you're doing. So just having fun, that's the main thing.
How did you help them believe in who you were?
Just stepping out the first day and just being who I am, through the weight room, through the way I approached it, and that's just the message that this week is like going A to B to everything. The moment you wake up, the moment you do everything. So how you do everything is how you do anything. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the main thing, is just being who I am, just being true to myself and just making the plays that when it came to me.
You've done it a lot, especially these last couple of weeks. 3 straight 100-yard games. You lead the league in yards and touchdowns going into this homecoming battle. You're tied for second in the league in targets. How have you fit the system, and how has the system fit you?
No, that was a good question. I just feel like just having, like, that goes back to the point of just having somebody that's believing in you and believe your mindset and your skill set. So just having a fit and then just having a mindset of just want to go do it. And that's just with anything, and just want to go do what you got to do every day. That's the main thing.
There have been times this year where you've been the desired deep target. You're the 120, 34 yards downfield that's trying to take credit for the long bomb. But it seems that lately Coach Applin has tried to work you more in motion, tried to get you involved across the middle. So you've become this complete receiver.
Yeah, that's just the faith that they have in me, and that helps me in the long run. Just figuring out the defenses and things of that nature. That just coming up with the knowledge that I have, and just reading the defenses and just want to be moved around. And Coach Alb himself put me in the best situations possible, and everybody in the coaching staff do. So that's just the main thing. So yeah.
How does spending 3 years in the SEC help with all this?
Oh, it helped a lot. Just the confidence level and just knowing who you are and just being in like the atmospheres and things of that nature. Just playing all those games and just being there and just having the knowledge that I have, like just listen to the coaching staff and then it's just like nothing just left for real. But the opportunity. So yeah.
You know what you're doing, but how do you get yourself trained to be able to do things so quickly and being able to say whatever it is, whether somebody's got you man-to-man or whether you're trying to go through a zone, how do you think through that so quickly?
That's just like just playing football in general, where you get like the certain type of looks and things of that nature. So like when I'm getting a man look, I look at the triangle. That's the big thing, or things of that nature. So it's just common football knowledge and just playing Madden when I was young. So just doing that stuff is just like helped me look at coverages and understand the coverages better as well.
All right, what year Madden are we talking about? How young?
I started out with Madden 25. Madden 25 used to be something special.
Okay.
Adrian Peterson.
So
Madden 25 with Adrian Peterson on it.
Okay.
That's an old Madden.
Okay, what team are you playing with?
I play with the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees on there now.
I know you're from Monroe.
Yeah.
Was AP a Saint?
No.
Was he in his Vikings?
Vikings.
I know he played for they were then still the Redskins,
right,
the Commanders
right.
now, but okay. Being able to represent a school like St. Thomas Aquinas, that's one of the top programs, not just in Florida, but in the country, and Michael Irvin played there.
Right.
Do you pattern yourself about the way he played at all, or how do you look at yourself as a receiver?
I actually won his award when I was there, so just getting able to opportunity to even win that award was crazy. So like just having the opportunity to be probably like one of those guys in that aspect in that world, but he's a great receiver, and I look after his game sometimes too. Yeah.
Now you won his award. Did you ever get to meet him?
Nah, I ain't never get to meet him. I saw him at a game though.
Well, at least you wear 4 instead of 47. I don't know how you would have looked when he wore that. Now, since this is a rivalry game with Georgia State, we talked with Coach earlier that you were teammates with TJ Finley at Auburn. Yeah. I know that's 3 years ago. I didn't realize that you two were really good friends.
Yeah, we really good friends. He took me under his wing when I first got to Auburn and everything, and just seeing him. He helped me actually going back to the coverages thing, and he helped me read the coverages and just helped me in general with just life and just football and the aspect world. So I'm excited to see him and see what he do this year.
I mean, life and the game have taken you guys different places, but how did you make sure to keep that friendship?
Just check in. That's the main thing, too, because once you leave somewhere, you probably won't even hear from another teammate or something, but just being there for each other, because when you join a team, you'll always want to, because you remember the memories from the locker room and things of that nature, so that's just the main thing as well.
You had some really good thoughts on this earlier today in media because people were asking you could become the first 1,000-yard receiver in Georgia Southern history, and I know that would be an awesome thing, but you immediately said, look, this is team. Wherever our feet are, that's where we have to be, and if you getting that is a product of the team winning, then that's the most important thing.
Nah, that's just been my mindset since I've been at St. Thomas Aquinas. Like, all you matters is winning. Sometimes you can't even just matter about the accomplishment and the accolades and things of that nature because you just want to win. It's never really a factor when you do all those things if you're not winning. So that's just the main thing. I'm just trying to help this team win, be the best version of myself, and just honestly just grow with my teammates as well, and just leave my mark where it is.
Now, you caught 32 passes this year, but one of the 12 last weekend was the flea flicker in the first quarter. And it's one thing to run a route, but when you know that you're the back end of a trick play, is that a different mental process?
Nah, just the details matter and all that, just like the time and purposes of just like knowing what are you doing, and that just comes from just the knowledge of playing football and things of that nature. So I just feel like it's just the timing pieces, and when Coach App, Coach Helton, anybody just explaining it, you have to really be dialed into it so you won't miss a beat.
when we have players up here for interviews like this, sometimes the why comes up. It did earlier this year with Brendan Harrington. And if we want to talk about your why, you're wearing your necklace tonight with your sister. And can you tell us that story real quick?
So I lost her August 13th, 2021, right before my senior season and things of that nature. I lost her because she had kidney failure and things of that nature. Just playing for her is like something playing for bigger than myself. So when you playing for something bigger than yourself, it's automatic. Like, you're gonna play for something that's bigger than yourself, and it help you know your why when you feeling bad. Like when you wake up your eyes and you like 6 o'clock in the morning, you're like, man, dang, I don't want to do this. The whole time it's like my sister wasn't complaining when they said she wasn't gonna be able to make it when she was 3 years old, and she made it like till she was about 18. So why am I complaining? So that's just my mindset and ultimately how I work out for real. It's just like. Just anything, and I'm like, why everybody complaining? You got to show some gratitude because some people not able to do what we doing now. It's just showing gratitude in what you're doing, and that's just my mindset and like being with my feet at every day. Because anything can be worse. It can definitely be worse than what it is. So yeah.
What's your mindset going into homecoming this week? And it's a rivalry game. What's this like for a player?
Man, I'm just trying to win and dominate, and that's the main thing, and just not taking these guys lightly. Just because of the record and things of that nature. Being with your feet at, having fun with your teammates, and just ultimately just enjoy the moment. We got Tuesday practice, Wednesday practice, Thursday practice, Friday practice, Saturday game day. So how you gonna approach every day like it's your last? And that's just the mindset and the approach to everything. It's just how you gonna approach it this week. Is you gonna approach it with a losing mindset or a winning mindset? And I'm trying to win this week. So we got to all approach it the same mindset. So I feel like we're going to win this week. This is how I'm feeling.
7 o'clock is the kick on Saturday. We're live at 5 from the Tailgate Lodge with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. I know that Eagle Nation has enjoyed watching you thoroughly this year. Looking forward to a lot more. Maybe get some individual records along the way. Camden Brown, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That's wide receiver Camden Brown. Head coach Clay Helton will join us in just a moment. We're talking Georgia State. We'll do so after this from Wild Wing, powered by Learfield.
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Hey, Eagles fans, it's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Georgia Southern football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Georgia Southern Eagles. Let's go Eagles! SeatGeek.
Next time you need a dozer, a light tower, a scissor lift, or any other job site supplies, call Yancey Rents at 1-844-YNC-RENT or visit YanceyRents.com and get the best maintained equipment in Georgia. With 17 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia. Again, that's 1-844-YNC-RENT or visit YanceyRents.com.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
There was flames on that ball.
The speed.
35, 40. There he goes. Down the sideline.
Western college football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20. Say goodnight to this one.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACTA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield, live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's Danny Reed.
Camden Brown with outstanding stuff, our player guest this week on Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing, and we spent a lot of time coaching that first segment with the numbers, but to hear the kind of person he is too, that makes you want to cheer for him that much more.
Oh my goodness, what a special person. It makes you wake up and want to go to work every day, just working side by side with people like that. And we've got a locker room full of them. Cam has been so special to us this year.
Southern versus State, 7 o'clock on Saturday. We are live at 5 Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. You go in 2-4, 0-2. They're also 0-2 in conference, 1-5 overall. I know a lot of people were impressed with the way that their defense played against James Madison 2 weeks ago, only dropping that contest 14-7. Last weekend, though, they get down 31-0, and that beats them 41-20.
Yeah, I thought they played really well in that first half too. The breaks didn't go their way. Had a punt that actually ricocheted off an App State player where they could have got the ball down on the 2-yard line, and things just didn't bounce their way. Defensively, I thought they're playing better ball over the last 2 games, especially versus JMU. They've shifted their identity a little bit to an odd front package. They've had some injuries also on the defensive line, so I think they are spelling their guys a little bit more, putting more linebackers on the field, leaner bodies on the edges to help them out from a depth standpoint. And really they have done a good job. I thought the JMU game plus the first half of App State was really well done by their defense.
The availability reports are going to help this now more than ever, but as you try to piece together what that defensive line is going to look like, the guys that are playing as of last week versus guys that maybe have been out that could come back, how much film study is involved where you can see how the puzzle exactly works?
Yeah, we've watched the entire season because when you start with the Ole Miss game, in their first game, they were heavily a 4-down team, and that was their strength. I mean, you can see the defensive front and how talented they are, and then the injuries start to occur, and there's a shift that really happened after the Vanderbilt game. That they decide, okay, hey, this is what we need to get to. Dell's a really good coach, and having the opportunity to say, okay, hey, we've lost some bodies. What can we do and do effectively? And they took that into JMU. Obviously, did a great job. I thought did a really good job versus App State. Just didn't get the support from their offense and had too many times out there and too many plays.
They do have 2 of the better cover corners in the league. Pro Football Focus has both of them ranked inside the top 8, but there is a little bit of who's going to be the starting quarterback. It was Veyer in the first game, but he has not played since Ole Miss, and it's been mostly TJ Finley, who we've talked about a couple of times. He's been starting. Cameron Brown has been the understudy, but there seems to be a little bit lent to the fact that since his numbers have just outflanked TJ so much, he might get the start this week.
Yeah, I've seen that TJ face talented quarterback. When he was at Texas State, really got a hot hand against us at their home stadium. And then, to watch Cam Brown play last week, I thought that he gave him a spark. He's got 9 touchdowns on the year. He's really protected the ball well, has 0 interceptions, and really created that spark that they needed, putting up 20 points in the second half. I thought not only throwing the ball, but his feet, he's a more dynamic runner also, so I can see them leaning on them maybe this week with him.
And we sit here every week, we look at matchups, we look at numbers, we look at this, we look at that, but when it comes down to the rivalry, how much more of it is it's this guy versus that guy?
It is. It's always about personnel, and that's why you stay up late at night as you're trying to put your best on you're lying on the weakest antelope out there, and you're looking for that matchup that could actually help you win a ball game. And you see that each and every week. You're trying to create one-on-one situations that your guys can go win. We had one of those situations, as you saw with Marcus, that we had a specialty play that designed for him that we felt like we had a really good matchup against, and it was about him going to make the play, and he did.
With everything that encircles this game, the whiteout, homecoming, tackling for a cure, the Georgia Grown Bowl, second installment of that, how much more does it put on this just being the 7th game of the season, this being a Sun Belt game?
You can go coach speak and say, yeah, we're just trying to go 1-0 this week. But obviously, there's the human factor that comes into it. And this is special for our players. It's special for our coaches. It's special for our fans and our alumni. And so this is a more special 1-0. And you get 365 days, whoever wins, to pound their chest. And we've gotten that opportunity last year. So hopefully we can do that again.
Coach, we appreciate it. Best of luck this Saturday going to 1-0 in Southern versus State.
I appreciate it, Danny. Hail Southern.
It's a homecoming whiteout, 7 o'clock at Paulson on Saturday. Georgia Southern, Georgia State. We are live at 5 with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show for David Neville, Camden Brown, Chris back in the studios. Danny Reed signing off from Wild Wing. We'll talk to you Saturday night at Paulson on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
On the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. You've been listening to Hail Southern live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Enjoy Statesboro's tastiest wings at Wild Wing Cafe. Hail Southern Live has been brought to you by Morris Bank. It pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. And by Optum Orthopedics, the official orthopedic care provider to Georgia Southern Athletics. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network.